Attention. Welcome to the Different Spectrums podcast. We dive into the wild world of mental health discussions. Get ready for profound talks, a sprinkle of humor and sarcasm, and a touch of colorful language. Just a quick heads up, our show reflects our individual opinions, which may not align with the standpoint of the podcast, our featured guests, or any related corporate entities. Our mission? To illuminate through laughter and satire because everyone needs a good chuckle. Chill out and don't stress over the small stuff. Legal troubles? No, thank you. Cancel culture? Please spare us. We'd rather keep this space lawsuit free. So buckle up, have a good time, and join us as we navigate the vibrant realm of mental health on the Different Spectrums podcast. Hey everybody, we back again.
We're back in one line.
I'm Spencer, your co-host, and that's our licensed clinical therapist, Nas.
Dr. Nas.
Remember, don't take us too seriously.
Or do. It's completely up to you.
There you go. Also, don't forget to run those likes for us. We'd really appreciate it. So, today we have a special podcast, even though I have my Cobra Kai background on. I'm not covering that today.
Jackass.
We are covering the end of the year, even though we started. It's probably gonna be March by the time this comes out.
We're so behind. This is ADHD. Yeah. I'm disabled. Don't make fun of the disabled kid. You know.
Yep. DEI, you're fired. So we are doing our end of the year. So 2024.
Yes.
Our year review awards. Right? Yeah. We're counting down all the great moments of the podcast and how far we've come since 2022.
I know.
It's been a long 3 years, but
we've done 3 years. I've lost teeth since then.
You sure have.
You sure have.
Lost teeth. I've lost hair. It's all relative.
I've gained a lot though, specifically weight.
Yeah. Ozempic doesn't work.
I know. Fuckers.
Anyways. So we wanted to take some time to not only acknowledge ourselves, but acknowledge the others that we've worked with the past year. So really, we're going to be breaking down a few different awards that we're going to be giving out to different peeps out there that we've worked with in the past year.
Yeah.
And just have some fun breaking it
all down. It's just, I'm going to...
There you go.
I'm going to pleasure myself, but I also like to pleasure others.
That's great. That's lovely. I'm glad you felt like you needed to say that.
I like to put my hand in it, you know. Jesus Christ.
Starting off just like we began
3 years ago. Just very pervy.
Anyways,
a client called me a pervert the other day. I said, why?
Why? Wonder fucking why.
She's like, you made me show you my feet. I was like, I didn't make you show you your feet. You didn't have to show your feet.
I think
it was consensual.
Sure. All right. Somebody note that down.
They said they had rheumatoid. And so they were rubbing their feet.
Why do you need to bring that up?
I don't know. I just said, girl, show me them feet. She just lifts them up. I didn't mean it.
You're so fucked. It's hilarious.
I know. There's litigation pending. It's fine.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's fine.
But yeah. So in this first part, we're going to talk about ourselves. Surprise, surprise. We're going to be talking about what we've done. So we started back in 2022.
Yeah.
And we've just been growing. We've just been growing.
Growing boy.
We had no followers. We didn't even know how to fucking record, to be honest with you.
No.
We didn't know. Didn't know. Right. So cut back to us talking about ourselves. Little tiny incident, nothing crazy, but
not crazy, you know.
Shit happens.
Father almost died, but it's fine. It's, you know, he's good. He's walking. He's moving.
Once again, hot dog water.
Hot dog water.
So many problems.
Hot dog water.
So many problems.
My friends used to say I smelled like hot dog water.
That's good. I'm glad. That actually adds up. I'm not gonna lie.
That feels like
I'm
it's
not saying
about
you
right.
smell like hot dog water, but I'm saying you look like you smell like hot dog water. All right,
I'm
let's
not
just.
denying it. I smell like fucking Krabby Patties.
What does it smell like?
Fish under the sea.
Anywho,
Yep.
uh, talking about ourselves and just how we've grown as a podcast, right? We started off with 3 members and minus one. Um, no, Colin, where did you go?
Yeah.
Um,
He's having another baby. Did I tell you that?
yeah, you
Okay.
did.
Yeah. Well, they're
You
having
did.
another baby. We lost him once to one baby, and now, it's gone. So Spencer was right. He's never coming back.
Nope,
No. He
never.
had the
And I
kid
think
just
he
to
had a
avoid the
child
pod.
on purpose.
He did.
Let's be honest.
Just to
He had a
have.
child on purpose to not be on the podcast.
That's it. That son of a bitch.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
So, and he'll never watch this, so it doesn't really fucking matter.
Oh, no. Yeah. He doesn't even watch the reels I send him.
No.
I finally cleaned out my reels after like 45 days. You have like 50 of them waiting for you, FYI.
Oh, I know. I'm
Dom, too. She got a few of them, too.
waiting to get to them. We're all just waiting to get to
They're
them.
just sitting there marinating.
Yeah, she's just trying to finish her master's program. You're just like, reel.
Hey, it's been 30, 40 days. Calm down.
Okay.
Jeez.
Anyways, so we, just going from how we were as a podcast, just didn't even know how to record, didn't know how to even take the video clips and watch them.
We couldn't even watch video clips. Yeah.
No, we didn't know how to do any of that. And so we had to just go be like, remember that scene in that one movie or show? Remember that? You remember?
You remember? It looked good.
Nope.
Yep.
That's why we didn't get any views.
Yep. And then we had to do it on YouTube, and then it was wild days.
Yeah. But hey, grown since, creating better content, whether it's through our reels, whether it's through just overall, just us talking and being better
guests. We
speakers.
never had guests. Yeah, now we got like legit guests.
Yeah, there you go. And so now we've grown into, our followers, but then we're still growing with that. It's never really ending.
Yeah, well, like we're in the puberty stage.
Yeah,
you just got your first couple hairs.
Yeah, and we don't know what's going to happen to us, but we're in for the ride. So even then, we have our own website, merch, stuff like that. Really grown since our first year. Yeah. And now, like you said, now we have our guests. We're even getting even bigger guests. Hopefully on the show soon here. Not gonna jinx it, because I believe in that, and anytime I put it out there, I feel like it's not gonna happen.
I'm not gonna lie, I already put it out there because I was so fucking excited.
I know you did.
Yeah,
I know you did.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God damn it!
I know. I couldn't.
Not happen yet.
I withheld it the first time, you piece of shit. I couldn't withhold it the second time.
No, you didn't.
When you first told me, I knew it was gonna happen.
Oh.
You told me, like,
I'm saying the other guests that we were gonna have too.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna happen either. And you're just like, we about to have a superstar on.
Fuck it, I'm sending it. I held back. Hey, us Mexicans, man, we be spraying and praying, bro.
Oh God,
no pullout game.
And spraying, all right.
No.
Catholicism. Anyways, definitely growing, and we're gonna keep on growing.
Fantastic.
Throughout the show. So yeah, I mean, anything you want to?
So let's do a little statistical dive. So those of you that like watch with us every week, right? You know that we reduced it down to, it used to be damn near daily, and then little small content, and then it went to twice a week. So for like a year and a half, it was twice a week. And then this year we reduced it down because I just knew I was going to be super busy. And so I think in October, the beginning of the fall year, just one pod a week. I feel like it's been doing really good. Still getting the same amount of views that we were before. And actually, I think we're getting way more now. But some of that's because of guests. And it's not just solely because there's just too much of our content. So there's a bunch of different things going on. We appreciate a lot of you that have been along for like the long ride, the long haul, the long game. Some of y'all, I'm not gonna lie, you got trauma issues. You seen the red flags in us and you stayed with us.
Yeah. Yeah, let's shout out all of our stupid audience watching
Shut up.
and
If,
listening to us.
if you listen to us, you got dad issues. I ain't gonna lie.
Jesus Christ.
You still with us, motherfucker? Girl, why you dumb? I just want to shout out a bunch of people that listen to us, man. So California is some of the highest rates that listen to us. Indiana, not Michigan, Minnesota, and Texas. For some reason, Texas up there. New York's up there. Yeah. Whoever's listening in Roanoke, Texas, because Spencer didn't want to write it down. Whoever that one person is.
I didn't even know it was in Texas.
I don't even know. You know, there's a Roanoke, Texas. I didn't even know. You know, that one motherfucker probably ain't got no teeth.
Nope.
I'm sorry.
Well, not listening anymore. That's for sure. Smart move there. Good marketing there.
I know. I love you, girl.
Suck. Yeah.
Love all the folks that listen in Indiana. I know a lot of you are going to be my students and my clients. Much appreciation for listening in Indiana, right? Much appreciation for all the folks back home in Minnesota that are paying attention that at a high clip. So at our previous university, Spencer pushing it over there while his friends and people in the Twin Cities. As you've seen the demographics, Spence, our prime rates, ages usually like that 30 age to 45, 25 to 45. So it's a little bit of an older spice. You know, we're not, the kids don't like us.
Right.
The kids don't, they sensitive.
You actually have to pay attention to what we're fucking doing.
Yeah. Well, we have a long form content, so.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's, I think if we went towards more of that younger demographic, I just think we would just be unbearable, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, we'd be even worse idiots. Like, right? We should be. I mean, most of those pods are clown shows.
Yeah, and so we're trying to get the heathens out there, and so you know, some of them kids ain't ready for heathens. Some of the adults ain't ready for heathens. Let's be honest.
Let's be honest.
But, I think that we just right now with our audience, I think it's more the long form, and then you know, go from there, see what happens. Yeah.
All the really good
sit through an interview.
All the guests and really good interviews that we watched, they're all 2-3 hours long.
Yeah.
We used to be only like 20-30 minutes long, and then it went to an hour, and then now with guests, it's hard to keep it under an hour and 40 minutes. The hour and 40 minutes I feel like is the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Because by the time you guys notice, by the time we do the intro and the scenes, it's already about 30 minutes have gone by, which leaves us about an hour and 10 minutes to talk to the guest. That's not very long.
Yeah.
A lot of y'all listening on Apple. So love y'all on Apple that are listening to Apple Podcasts. Thank you. That's still 50% of our content.
Mm-hmm.
Please. Out of like the thousands of folks that listen to these things, please give us some reviews on Apple. And the other 20% that listen on Spotify, just give us some stars. I've seen some of you already rating us on there. Thank you for the 5 stars. If you could, a few more of you guys, just please, help us out. It'll push us more in that algorithm. It'll help us help other people, help us get bigger stars to come on, more neurodivergent folks, more athletes, more therapists. So if you could, just give us those 5 stars. Really appreciate it. And then if you want to, just say how you enjoyed us. And hey, if you hated us, go ahead and put it on there. It is what it is. I don't care, It is what it is. You like Nas is a lumpy looking motherfucker. Okay. There's a lumpy motherfucker, I just want to say thank you to the folks that did already review us and rate us on there. I really appreciate it. Very sweet things on there. And so that's some of the statistics. Hey, shout out to some of y'all knowing this, maybe not knowing this, but we've talked about with a lot of our guests. It normally skewed a lot folks identified as women. It's usually like 80% of our population. We're getting some of the men now, man. We're getting some of the men, no masculine men,
That's right.
Even
though most of our guests are women. That's what they came for. They're just like, I like that.
I like that,
I like that.
I like that.
Oh, and I'm learning. Oh my God.
I'm learning and she a pretty motherfucker.
I'm looking and learning.
I'm looking and I'm tasting. Wait a minute. You ain't tasting shit. I can smell. Wait a minute. You look like you taste good. Hold up now. Shut up, boys. That's the boys talking. That's pervy. Not me. That's not me. Pervy. I didn't say that.
2 years later, still pervy.
Still pervy. I ain't the play. I just crush a lot.
No.
Jesus Christ. So shout out to the dudes increasing because it used to be like 10% and now it's up to 30% that are listening that are dudes, and then the other margin will be non-binary or non-identifying. And so it's just kind of cool to see the demographic Spence, like how it is changing. I think some of that's got to do with YouTube. YouTube tends to be real toxic masculinity over there. Yeah, it feels like a lot of dude vibes over there, and so I get a lot of interesting comments over there. A lot of interesting comments. But I think maybe they're starting to tune in, which is kind of cool. YouTube is like skyrocketed in the last like year or so. We had like 0 followers. Now we're at like 23,000, 24.
Yeah.
What's the Instagram at now, Spence? 33, 5?
30,
35, 47. Okay. So, right. I mean, that's skyrocketed in the last year. So that's awesome. Bro, what do you think is the most like, when was a pivotal moment to you that you realized like, oh shit, we're actually like doing something here?
We actually doing something here last year or
oh no, like, just in general. Like we're just doing an overview in general. Yeah.
That's a good one. I guess I think once we started actually having like guests on that were a lot bigger than our page, I think that was probably a good moment because then just having them on, just realizing that just that, you know, we're growing as interviewers and that every time a guest comes on, not only are we having a good time, but they are as well. I think that was a good moment for me because, you know, we've had guests on where I'll be honest, I couldn't stand some of them. I was just like, no, let's not do this, please.
Please.
Like there were a few times where I was like, I don't know if we should do this. And then it turned out well. And there were some where I was like, I don't think we should do this. And then it was just exactly the way I thought it was going to go.
Real talk. One time, y'all, Spence wanted me to literally cut the internet on someone.
It should have. You should have done it. Should have done it.
It is what it is, boy.
It should have done it.
Should have done it. I mean, it was wild navigating that episode. It was intense, man. Hey, you live and you learn.
Yeah, we learned all right.
You're going to learn today, boy.
We're not having this segmentation of people on here.
Yeah, certain folks, right? You just got to figure it out better on the pre. So that's why I guess maybe that's when you started actually doing a little bit more screening. And me and you started doing more screening before we had guests on.
Yeah, doing a lot more research.
Yeah.
Because at that point, it was just like we want to just get guests on. It wasn't like, okay, like you've had this, you were doing this and stuff, but we weren't really doing a lot of like background research and things like that. And so diving into that and then also just diving into them as people in general and just having like just set questions for them and making up all these different ones. Really, it's becoming a better interviewer.
Which is this year. I feel like this year was like you really did awesome interviewing.
Tried my best.
Right before, me and you were just like kind of shooting the shit. And then now like you at one point in time, you're like, all right, I'm going to start doing backgrounds on these people.
Yeah. There were a few guests where I'm like, I'm going to start doing backgrounds. And then so after that, it was more of like, all right. Because, and also to note some of that too, it's just like sometimes with some guests, they don't have anything there for me to actually look up. And so it was tough for me to actually kind of go through and be like, hey, I know this about you and this and this and this. And I've seen your interviews because some of them don't have interviews. And this is their first time being on a podcast and things like that. So, which is nothing wrong with that. But it does help a lot when you have guests that have been on podcasts or have had like, they're a lot more bigger and like their information's out there so that then I can grab that and make sure I'm not asking questions that they've been asked like a million times before, even though some of those questions can be a little bit more like we can actually grab content from that. So it's content, but then it's also making sure that we ask things that they're actually going to think about and not just have like an immediate response to like, oh, what's your favorite color? And I'm like, well, green. Like, and that's it.
You know? Always go for like depth. And so if people have noticed or haven't noticed, when Spencer's interviewing folks, me and him like to have this thing where like, oh, that's a really good question. We'll do this thing where we count. So if those of you that are watching us, one of us will put our finger up when they're like, oh, it's really, and then Spencer.
That's a great question.
2. Yep. Gotcha. Yep. And suspense. And then like when I get a good one, then we're like, oh, yeah. So we keep score.
We We do. I don't know where we're up at this point, but you know
Oh, that
what?
would have been good for a tally.
You
Yeah.
know what? We'll have to start doing that this year then.
Yep.
We'll have to start keeping count of how many.
So for those of you listening to this, we want this to be a little bit more of an interactive thing. I guess I didn't think about that until now. So comment with us when you hear this next week.
Yes.
So comment, can you tell, pause, did you know that Spencer did a lot of interviewing practice and prep for folks? I would like you to, maybe you did, maybe you didn't.
Nah, it's shit.
Yeah.
Well,
the next thing is did you think that everyone actually has fun with us? Right. Or no, are you like, man, they're overwhelmed? Like, I wonder what you think that our guests feel. I would love to know what are y'all opinions on the podcast? Are you like, oh man, they had a fucking blast, this is awesome? And you're like, holy shit, that was heavy as fuck and kind of sad. Or like, man, I'm never listening to this shit again. But I see folks often when I do the polls that you'll answer the polls and I'm like, hey, did you enjoy hanging out with us today? And it always is yes, astronomically on the polls. So leave us what you really enjoyed in the comments. And did you think that our guest enjoyed it? And then another thing is maybe if you would like Spencer to ask certain things to people, what would those be? What would be the certain things that you would want Spencer to ask maybe generally to most folks? Like, hey, do they like guys who are bald? You know, if he could ask that, I would appreciate it.
No.
Well, she just hates men. Gay.
Yeah, all of them.
She's gay.
Damn. Again.
Yep.
Yep.
So that could be something really cool.
What would you say for yours? What was your pivotal moments that you thought like, oh,
so for you, it was like, yeah, the interviewing and realizing things. I think that yes, the guests. So as we started getting more guests last year, and like the previous year we had guests, but like it was a lot of our like Vicky, Serena, Colin.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I got some of the homies to join in. But then the following year really started to pick up, which is 2024. I feel like as soon as we really got, the website locked in, right? Because we got it and then we polished it and then you polished it. And then we started really figuring out this ChatGPT shit. So then I polished it up even more. I feel like as soon as we got that hammered down, and then I got really confident myself in doing all the editing and all that stuff and like making the formatting all good. I feel like as soon as I got some of the formatting stuff down, I felt really confident. As soon as Spencer introduced me to like AI, then those of you that know, horrific dyslexia, horrific. And so me trying to spell and figure out all the posts and all that was like, that shit was not working. Right. And so then when this AI started helping me clean up and polish what I'm doing in my text, that was like a big changing moment for me. Cause like now I feel confident in what we're writing.
Right.
And then the web page and all that. I just felt really confident in that. Mm-hmm. And you could start to see it in the videos because then everything was just being like more and more dialed in. Like everything, the microphone, I had probably a year and a half where the fucking microphone didn't work.
Right.
And I was like, perfect. And I'm so scared to touch any settings. So I think that was like a pivotal moment for me, is just seeing like some of my autistic ass, some of the ins and outs just being much more flushed out. Mm-hmm. And the crazy thing is I'm still making updates. Like if people are going to notice for this podcast, the background's going to be different. I decided to jazz it up a little bit to make it a little bit more engaging. So it's a nice background for the YouTube. I think those were like pivotal moments for me, just getting the daily routine shit down. The most eye-opening moment last year, I think when Spence got Sammy to join the pod. Let's be real.
That's cool.
Spence got Sammy Sullivan, a rugby person, pretty big personality, medalist, captain in the military. And so they got them to join the pod. And you're going to see the numbers for our podcast like skyrocket after that, where we almost doubled our viewership. So Sammy brought some folks in. Also, Inside Out movie brought some folks in. But then a lot of folks did stay. A lot of folks stayed. And then we just had banger after banger after banger guest after that. It was wild.
Yeah.
So I think that was like a really cool moment with Sammy. I think a really cool moment too is some of the guests were asking me to have like more people of color.
Hmm.
And then we just had it was like a 2-month spree of just all people of color is magnificent.
Yeah.
People may not know this. It's really fucking hard to get people of color to do the podcast.
It really is. And like,
it's so hard. Trust me, we tried. There's just so many white women out there. It's hard. It's just, you flooded. And then Spencer will laugh at me. I'm like, I think she's a Latina. He's like, that's a white woman.
Yeah. You literally tried to make.
I tried to make like 3 or 4 white ladies.
DEI hires that weren't even happening. Like, they're not. No. She was definitely. I forgot who it was. But yeah. I was like, nah, she's so white.
Yeah. It was that Kayla, the fatphobic lady we did heavyweights. She's like, I'm white as hell. I'm like, girl, you look like a Mexican.
I was like,
she's white. There's
whitest of white.
There's a couple more white girls that I invited recently. Awesome therapists. They're just like, I'm just like, you Latina, right? You got like that gaffer like Latina in you. She know I'm white as hell.
Oh my God.
I'm like, girl, you catfishing us Mexicans.
Why do you just want to give white women Latina status?
I don't know, man.
Like, why, man?
I don't know. They give off them Latina vibes.
I don't know what vibes is.
I don't know.
In one picture, she had a taco. That was it.
Yeah, that's it. Girl, she was eating a taco.
Latina. She's a Latina.
I seen it was a corn tortilla too. Shit.
It probably wasn't. It's probably like flour.
It's probably flour. That bitch. I don't know, man. It's just really hard. I feel like Spence, we've talked about this multiple times. There's not a lot of black folk out there. There is, but there isn't, that are doing a lot of social media content, a lot of therapists, neurodivergence, autism, and Instagram, social media. It's mostly white women. So it's just hard to find them. And then to get them is also hard. Go ahead.
I want to give a little bit of a request to our audience out there.
Go ahead.
So tag somebody down below beneath this post. I'm going to make a reel out of it. Tag somebody you want on the podcast, whether they are a therapist, whether they are a celebrity, athlete, whatever. I don't care. Name drop them in our comment section below, and make sure that we can get them on, because this is a great opportunity, right?
For a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity, and it's a fun environment that we have for people on the show. Like we said before, all of our guests who've been on the show actually like being on the show. So it's a good time. And also you're helping people not only with mental health, but actually helping with the awareness of it. So tag the people down below that you think we should have on the pod. And yeah.
Another homework assignment for y'all. I'm sorry, but go ahead and tag them below on YouTube, Instagram. When Spencer posts this on you, we're going to post this on many places. So go ahead and tag them. If you feel like they fit our vibe, if you would love to hear from them, but within our context, then let's do it. Yeah. Spencer, I will have people that will tag us on certain other places. Mm-hmm. And I'll just sometimes I'll message them. I'm going to be for real with you, homie. They don't interview people of color. And they'll be like, what do you mean? I'm like, they ain't going to talk to us. And then I end up shooting the DM. And then what happens? They never get back to me. Not to the people that tagged us. Our followers are diehards. Shout out to our followers, bro, real quick. Y'all some fucking troopers. Thank you for liking the content. My God. Mm-hmm. I love that you follow us. Please, God, like the fucking content. Shit, hit the like button.
Stop following and like.
Bro, so the only time our content actually gets into the algorithm is whenever you hit like on YouTube, Instagram, then it kind of feeds it out to more people. So please like, or if you want to, share to your story. That greatly helps the content get out to people that are either neurodivergent, severely mental health issues, or just you want someone to listen to two dudes, because there's not many of us on YouTube or Instagram. So if you're looking for a different flavor, something that's different but not less, separate but equal.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
What?
Please. Separate but equal. Hey.
What? Did you say separate but not equal?
I said not equal? No, I said equal.
Did you?
I think I did.
Okay.
I'm better than them.
Jim Crow.
So please like our stuff. Help us out. I love you followers. I added some of y'all to my private page now because some of y'all cool as shit and just send me reels. Love it. My clients. I'm not going to respond to the shit that you send me, but you more than welcome to send me the reels. I'll repost. Homie, I'm not responding to it though. So I got some clients. Spencer will see it. I can't identify who the clients are, but people will send us shit. I'm like, there's other people that control this shit, bro.
Oh my god!
Just letting y'all know, motherfucker.
I'm not even gonna get into what the problem with that is.
I'm not DMing y'all. They be like, "Did you see my DM?" I'm like, no, man.
Yeah. My God.
It's mostly just funny autistic memes.
I'm not saying it's not.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I know, man. Hey, something really cool happened the other day. I think I told Spence. I'm actually starting to get clients now from the podcast.
Oh yeah.
Can you believe a person Googled up autism, Spence, and then they're like, "I'm gonna send my kid to this man."
That was a mistake. You,
bro.
bad.
And these are like well-to-do white people. I'm like, you gonna trust me with your baby?
Yeah, some people just be for some reason, and we've had this recently pop up where like people like they're like, "Oh yeah, my kids and I listen to your show." I'm like, "Why? Don't like we legit curse and say dumb shit
horrible
all the time. We say great things, but we also say really dumb things as well to balance it out. But we don't have your young children listen to us. Yes. It's not a good idea.
I do have it rated E on everything and platform on YouTube, all of it's always rated E. Spencer has a good intro saying we gonna say some shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna put my hand in it. Like, you know.
Yeah. Oh my God. And they're not even gonna know what that means. Like, what does that mean? He's gonna put his hand in, Mom. Like, yeah, I have that talk.
Fucking groomers. I'm sorry. So crazy year.
Yeah.
A lot of cool stuff. A lot of updates that we've done. I think we're going to pivot eventually here to actually talk about some of the guests and like legit awards. Yeah. We're gonna send you all guys a sticker of it just I'm not even, I wanted to say something very graphic and funny.
Don't do it. You're gonna do it, but don't
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. We're gonna send you something where it pretty much says you get fucked. So
see, you did it.
Well, that wasn't as bad as I was thinking.
Okay. Great. Let's move on here. So the first award that we have here, I'm just gonna go top down.
We'll put that, I love you. Always wipe front to back. Just keep going.
Nah, I'm gonna let you sit in it.
It's wiped.
Not the first time. So the first podcast or the first podcast award we have here, it would be the most watched podcast. Most watched. This award is going to be going to our great guest Adam and Becca Jones, who also are the Studies Show Things. So they are the lovely couple that we interviewed for the Big Bang Theory, mainly from a neurotypical husband, talks about his autistic wife. Yeah, they win the most watched. People really, really enjoyed the Big Bang Theory and also their content. So
love the content. People love their page. Good following. Let's be real. Homeboy ain't neurotypical. So the whole neurotypical, neurodivergent. I know. Come on, bro. Let's be real. They're not going to listen to this.
My wife is autistic.
I know. He's like, my wife is disabled. I'm like, chill, bro. Chill.
Walk with a limp and everything. Anyways,
I love their content because of her. Mm-hmm. It was kind of interesting.
Fuck that guy. Hey, Adam, go fuck yourself, bro. Hey, Adam, you ain't doing shit.
You're just another white man.
You know who's carrying that fucking page, bro?
You know who's carrying that page and doesn't even say anything?
Exactly.
Guy's been working his whole life to be like a content creator. She's like, I'm autistic, and like instant validation.
I know, right?
No.
Like,
bruh.
Anyways.
I enjoyed talking to them so much, so much. And I think it was awesome, Spence, for like people's, picked on Rebecca, this and that, because she doesn't show a lot of emotion, this or that, or like laugh or smile. And Homegirl was cracking up with us. So like, I don't know what the fuck they talking about. Maybe they're just not funny.
Yeah, that seems like it.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, like we actually laugh at ourselves. Like we say a joke and we laugh at it,
Yeah.
like, and so other people also kind of latch on and then they start laughing too, because it's a lot better when you have somebody who's laughing while saying a joke,
Yeah.
because then you're like, oh, okay, you're trying to be funny
It's the
and you're
context.
not actually being serious. So,
Correct.
also understanding context and then just knowing if they're joking.
Yeah. Cues, right? Right. We're all autistic on here.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part about talking with him? I've got mine.
Yeah. I I don't know. I liked the dynamic of them kind of bouncing ideas off of each other and just saying things. And it wasn't just like a one-sided conversation with them, or like one person wasn't talking over another a lot. Like they both were giving time and
Correct.
chance for them to actually talk and stuff like that. And so that's always a good thing, because sometimes when you have two people that you're talking to, one of them's either controlling the
I've
conversation,
noticed.
or and it sometimes you're like, okay, I'm trying to get something out of this other person as well, because I know they have something to say about this subject. So they did a good job of balancing out, and I like that.
I loved it. I love the relationship. It looks, well, who knows? They're probably abusing the shit out of each other, but
Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
But it felt fantastic. Felt very lovely, very fancy. It felt very affirming. Um, and like you can just tell certain people are like good people, man, like legit good people. My favorite part was the little girl that kept coming in.
Oh yeah.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. Do you remember that during the recording? She just would barge in. She's just showing us pictures and trying to get our attention through the whole pod.
And she had it too. She had the attention.
Dude, it was like 1 a.m. and like little girl was like wide awake. I'm like, put that girl to bed.
I know. Damn household running here. Stay up till whenever.
How autistic are you? Jesus.
Well,
very.
Well, I have an answer for you.
That I just loved it. That was just the cutest little girl, man. And I don't know what it is, like parents when they're working with us and their kids are there. It's just very awesome to see how good they treat their kids, even though they're trying to be like professional. Yeah. But then also they have to be a parent at the same time. It's like, how do you balance that with most likely your neurodivergent kiddo too? Obviously the podcast was fantastic, very lovely. Love the love story, love all the autism, neurodivergence in it, the quirks, the idiosyncrasies. I just thought it was really cool having the kid in there, and a ton of people watched it, love it, because they were following from their page. Just I highly recommend anyone that's neurodivergent, or you're loving someone that's neurodivergent, aka also maybe autistic. Highly recommend. That's probably the best one for you to watch if you're in a relationship with someone that's autistic. Watch that podcast, Big Bang Theory, that we did this year.
Yep. There you go.
Congratulations. We will send you something.
Why does it have hair in it?
A dingleberry?
Oh. I sent that from my chest hair. How'd that happen? What the fuck?
I'll send him something. I don't know. I'll see how much it costs, like those little bowling trophies. Like I want to do a little bowling trophy.
Yeah, those are like a couple cents, right?
I want to do like a fat guy eating a slice of pizza or something like that, right? Something
that is so specific. Like
what? Hey, we all like that's. I got to type. I got to type. I don't. But if it was, it'd be that big guy with a slice of pizza.
That's such a lie, because you love buff white men. But anyways, let's move on to the next.
I like him toy.
The next award, most anxious.
Bruh.
So this award is going to somebody who is just anxiety ridden. She was a great guest.
She was
great guest. Fantastic.
Love her.
Wonderful woman. That's a
good one. That's a good white woman.
That's a good white woman.
That's a good white woman right there. I love her to blindside the shit out of me.
I never had that before. What? A bed. And it comes out that family is terrible. Anyways,
I know.
Our award goes to Rebecca Capps.
Yes.
She is not only a therapist, but she also is a eating disorders specialist. And
yes.
She did Black Swan with us and covered that. Like I said before, great guest. Even though she was just it was anxious. She's just an anxious person, which is fine because a lot of the times when we have people on the show, it's like they've never done a podcast
No,
before. Yeah. And they aren't, and even if they have done a podcast before, they're kind of scared of what they think the podcast is,
correct.
right? They think that we're just going to either A, have it like heavily on them, which we don't. We take a lot of the brunt of like a conversation. We try to open it up to them. Or B, they think like they are going to only have to talk the whole time, which is not the case. And so really a lot of people that kind of come like first come on to our show, they're expecting something a lot different than what they get. And as soon as like from the start of the pod to the end, you really see them actually getting a lot more comfortable.
Correct.
And that also comes with just asking like basic questions that they can easily answer too. Just so that then they get comfortable with talking with us, and then they can go into a lot more difficult questions when it comes to like mental health and things like that. Things that you really kind of have to have a little bit more critical thinking of. So even though, she's a great guest, she was just an anxious lady.
Bruh. I think she was standing the whole time too during the pod. So she was at like a standing desk, I feel like.
You know that.
So she was standing and swaying. And I remember her just being like super overwhelmed. And so our private conversations were like, obviously, we're not going to get into that. But she would I remember she would apologize to me like every once in a while. I just want to let you know how sorry I am, how anxious I was. And like you asked me a question about eating disorder, then I just kind of blanked and rambled. I'm like, honey, no one even cares and notices. It's completely fine. Like it's
a great pod too.
It is what it is. Oh my God. The Magnificent movie as well too. Like kind of fucked up though, the movie, very triggering. But I loved it and enjoyed it. She hit a lot of good points on eating disorders, how they're formed, the grooming that goes into it, society, norms, women, and how to get yourself out of it. She talks about her eating disorder and her journey through all that. And right. So it's really good to hear about lived experience from a therapist that works with it. So definitely very anxious. Everyone's like chill, but like some folks stay anxious because they think that they messed up. Everyone we've pretty much loved. And I guess it was just really cool about doing the pod, Spence, is like this mom emailed me, right? Because they found the pod and then they talked to me and then now I'm going to work with their kid. And it's like, how the fuck is this life? Like, this is reality now? Like, I'm being a complete shithead and now the podcast is like attracting people towards us. I'm getting paid for just being real and funny and neurodivergent. And so our guests always leave with this very upbeat vibe. Some of them are tired of shit because it's like a long 3-hour process.
It is.
But they're always so happy and smiley and so like so giggly and bubbly. I fucking love it, dude. I know y'all may see me kind of like abuse some of our guests. It's all in good time, man. I'm just trying to have fun. I'm trying to be the peanut gallery, right? I'm trying to do my thing. Rebecca, we probably didn't say too many jokes because she was so nervous.
She was. I bet if she came up for a second time, she'd be a lot,
100%. No.
And would be able to get through conversations.
We definitely gonna have homegirl back. She was fantastic. Anyone that nice, as sweet as pie, girl, anytime you want.
Yeah.
And
also,
go ahead.
I will say to another point of why people might be scared. It's like we're two dudes. Like they think like we're going to be.
Remember that one? Sorry to cut you off. Remember that
vagina? Like no, we actually have poignant like points, and we're trying to make a conversation out of this. And we listen too. We listen to what you're saying, and we try to also just have that thinking in mind. So like some people just think like, oh, two dudes talk about mental health. They must be talking like, they're trying to sell me something. No, we're just trying to get you to a point where you can have these conversations. And, and I totally understand like how guests might think that, but watch our clips. Do a pretty good job. Watch our clips.
We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some really good psycho ed. And this is not a job. Like this is here to be chill and fun. I already work fucking 60 hours a week. I'm not trying to come here and work. So everyone gets cool with us. Rebecca was cool with us. Definitely the most anxious guest. We probably got another one in there that's in the running. But Rebecca, I'm sorry. You are the winner.
You are the most anxious.
Yes. Congratulations.
Good job. Good work.
Good job.
Stay nervous.
You're doing good.
All right, let's move on to the next one. We have the most insightful / favorite guest therapist. This award is going to Rich Hall, Dr. Rich Hall,
Doc.
who did Creed 3 with us. Yeah, from my perspective, and then we'll get Naz's, but from my perspective, when we talk about a guest, not only the fact that he is a Black man who is a therapist, but also somebody who could really hold on to a conversation and just and like just when we wanted to do a scenario where Nas was a client and then Rich was kind of giving advice as a therapist to him, that was just a perfect moment of just like he knew exactly what to do. Because we've tried that with some guests and they kind of just didn't vibe with it well, but he picked onto it perfectly. And that's how, for me, that's how I really knew it was going to be a really good podcast. Because he was just not only articulate, but he knew exactly how the vibe was and he ran with the vibe. And so that's what we really ask for a guest, especially if you're like a therapist on that level. Is just we ask for somebody who can make their points and be relatable and also really fit the vibe of who we are as people as well. And I feel like Rich Hall really did that well.
Earlier you asked me what was that, that turning point.
Mm.
Real talk. That podcast probably was when I realized, like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to have some fun doing this. We're going to get educated. Like, our interviewing skills, like, was top notch. Homie was like the perfect fucking guest for us.
Yeah.
Like, that was like, I'm like, oh, they feel good. They feel real good right now. I like it a lot. Like it a lot. Bruh, he had me shook when I did that random like role play.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, damn, someone can actually hold their weight with me? Let's fucking go, bro. And then this is a joke. He's like the leader of all the Black people in, fucking his state, So he's like,
wasn't it like Ohio?
Yeah, I feel like it was Ohio. Yeah, but it was like really just the city and not like all of Ohio, right?
Yeah,
so we were fucking with him.
Yeah.
Magnificent therapist. And so homie doesn't have the highest views on his Instagram, or TikTok is higher, but his content is fantastic. Like, his content is like legit real. If you're actually trying to get a teaching and not be babied, 100% go check out Dr. Hall's website and his social medias. He's going to be tagged in this. I really want you to go check him out.
Yeah.
Fantastic therapist. He's not a therapist that's just going to sit just in your feelings. He's actually going to help you go get your money, go get your passion, your joy, your relationship. He's going to push you to be a better version of yourself. Mm-hmm. And I don't think everyone's ready for that type of therapy, but he's the type of therapist you want when you're ready to go. When you're ready to get it and go do it, you need that's the type of man you need. That pod was awesome. And also just for like Black men in general, or men of color, just all men. That pod was awesome just for men. Fuck, that helped me process some shit. That Creed 3. That was a great fucking movie too.
It was.
Great fucking movie. So I picked him as my top favorite. Right. And then I had a couple others that were in the run-in, but like, I'm not going to lie. That's the one that stuck out the most this year, where I was like, I remember talking to my sister about it. I was like, we met this black guy, man. Black guy crazy, man. He laid that shit down now, he got that pipe, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Rich Hall, great guest.
Dr. Rich Hall.
And he wins our most insightful / favorite guest. Also check out his socials, Psych Works Clinic LLC.
There it is. There you go.
There it is. So yeah, Rich Hall, definitely having him back on at some point, because
men's mental health, check out that pod. Men's mental health.
Yes.
Creed 3.
There we go. All right.
Well,
so our next one, we have, there it is. So we have best voice.
Oh, damn. Look at those. Boy, now bring me the phone back there.
So this one we had like two guests that had some really great voices, right? But this one, we actually covered X-Men 97 with this guest. This award goes out to Dr. Drea. Um, Once again, another therapist or psychologist,
Psychologist.
actually.
Yep.
She's a psychologist. And and she works mainly like she has her own podcast called the Arkham Sessions podcast, which they talk about all different mental health inside of like Batman and other comic books and things like that. And so she's really inside of like all these different comic books and just these pop culture things that we kind of hold dearly. And yeah, great voice and great psychologist too, because she be killing it. So
Bruh.
yeah.
Because I know you were extremely geeked up to get them to come on. Like you were like fanboying because of the stuff that they were doing, the people, the Comic-Con stuff that they were doing, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
hosting. Like, so when you were doing the interview with them, were you intimidated at all to make sure your game was tight? Because like they are a podcaster. Like they said,
Really?
like, right, they've been doing it for like 10 plus years. Were you a little tweaked out or no? I was.
No.
You're like, yeah,
When it comes to like when it comes to like uh just asking questions and having guests on, I get excited to have certain guests on and everything like that, because not only the work they're doing but their status and everything like that. But I've learned to just make sure, because if I'm feeling that way, then they're going to feel that as well. And
X.
so for me, it's more about just asking questions and making sure that we're getting these things answered and checked off the list.
Okay.
um so I don't really get like intimidated by people that do all these things, because A, you're on my show, and then B, you're you're just another person, but you've done some great things, which is which is great. And it's not to be cocky, but it's like it's more of like, if I am like fanboying now, like say if we had like Kevin Garnett on the show, I'd probably be fangirl and I'd probably be nervous as fuck,
Your
because
panties be
that's like
wet.
hero. That's my fucking hero right there. And Yeah. So when it comes to like guests and things like that, I don't really get nervous, because I have a plan. Especially now, I have a plan set out to ask them these questions, and if I have to pivot, I'll pivot. But other than that, no,
Okay. So you
it's
usually
not really an
going with
intimidation
you
thing.
going with some confidence. Okay. I
Mhm.
didn't know that. Right. Cause I go in like, damn, man, we can't fuck this up. Like I got that mindset, like we can't fuck this up. And then like 2 seconds into it, I'm like saying some stupid shit, like trying to fuck it up.
That's funny that you say like, yeah, because they're just like, you know what, toes. Like, what?
Yep. I'm like, you know what? Let me just make sure that you don't love me. That way you don't like me, and then I get attached and
You're
then you hurt
setting
me.
yourself up to
I'm literally
be. You're
self-sabotaging.
making it so that then you'd be like, well, I chose to
Yeah.
be the guy who ruined it. You didn't ruin it. And I didn't say anything that wasn't on purpose
I'm
that ruined
toxic.
it. I ruined it on purpose
I'm
because I
toxic.
won. Jesus
To
Christ,
be
man.
fair, I
You
like to test
just psyched
people.
yourself right there.
Yeah.
What the fuck,
Yeah.
man?
I'm toxic, bro. Like I got so much avoidant attachment issues, bro. It's intense.
You just it's by yourself.
I'm just born to be alone. I'm not unlovable, bro.
Jesus Christ.
I just be like trying to fuck shit up. So when we were with Dr. Drea, I'm like, oh my God, they're so good.
Yeah, no.
Like they're so awesome. They're so intelligent. They're so fucking badass. Their podcast is doing their thing all these years, grinding. They're like what me and Spence want to be. I ain't gonna lie. Like it was kind of a fangirl moment for me, because I'm like seeing ourselves getting to that. And right, I want to get to that. And they're just humans that are just talking and chatting. And I think this is when I hit another like pivotal moment. She's like, I've been doing this for umpteen years, dude, like 10 plus years. And she's like, this is by far probably the most fun I've ever had.
Yeah.
And I was like, hell yeah. Girl, your voice so good, make me want to touch your toes.
Oh my God.
I know it's horrible. Don't put that in anything.
Well, too late.
Just tag her in that.
Drea.
Bruh. So like for real though, I think that was like a big moment for me.
Yeah.
was knowing that someone that's been doing this for years, Spencer, years. It ain't just like a regular therapist. Like this is like a legit person in the industry.
Yeah.
And they're like, you guys are a blast. Like literally, this is a fucking blast. And she's like, I got to go to bed. She's like, but I guess I can stay on and talk some more shit. And then she did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like what? Like we're all busy. We're all burned out. And then people choose to stay with us longer. I'm like, bruh, I'm the next relationship I get into, I'm fucked. Like they're going to show me a little bit of attention. They're just going to abuse me and I'm just going to stay in it.
God.
I'm so fucked. Anytime it's like you're a good person, I literally just cry. Like I need help.
God, you're like, Jesus.
I know.
Anyway,
I know. Great therapist, great voice. Also, she said, because she can't take a compliment either, the bastard. Yeah. She's like, I got $1,000 in microphones and setup and all these cords and all this shit. She's like, my shit better sound good. I was like, girl, it sounds really good.
It does.
Really
and
good.
Like, yeah, she does. She also does like consultations and stuff for different companies, clients, and then like for like she's been on like Nerdist, I think it was Nerdist, something like that. Yep. But yeah, she does all these great things and different events, hosting as well. So
magnificent.
Shout out to Dr. Dre, and we'll be definitely hopefully having you back on
100%. Go check that pod out. Magnificent output. I also have them on Spotify. She and Analyze Scripts are actually the two podcasts I recommend people to listen to because I enjoyed them both.
There you go. There you go. Let's go check them out. Our next pod or next award goes to the best alternative pod. So that's a pod that we, it was a little bit different than our normal interview / show that we've had in the past, right? Just different.
It's not just a therapist, but it's not a social media person. It's like a different thing, right? It was all alternative to me. It was all different.
Yeah, exactly. So this one actually goes to Rebecca Vitzman, who we did for the Hyperphantasia show through, what was the movie again? Let me see here. The movie
The Fountain.
was The Fountain. There you go.
Hugh Jackman.
The Fountain. Hugh Jackman. So we actually got contacted through her publisher because she had a kid's book that she was publishing all about hyperphantasia. And so her publisher reached out to us and wanted her on the pod just to get more publicity for the book and everything. And so we accepted it, and then we actually had a great conversation about hyperphantasia and what it is even. And so I'm gonna let Nas talk about his experience there because he even had a revelation about it.
That's an awesome, sweet person. A person that deals with her own struggles, being autistic herself, right? Magnificent children's book. As soon as you realize what's going on and the symbolism behind things, right? Mm-hmm. And in her character, which is herself just being very young. And this hyperphantasia thing, right? I know I'm very visual, right? And I know I have a lot of mirroring neurons, but I didn't know that this hyperphantasia or fantasia was a thing. And so I knew it was, but I didn't know that there was other people that saw things and felt things like I did. And it's kind of awesome to have a guest come on there and just start talking, and you're like, holy shit, you get you. The words you said, you. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. You. I'm just like, this feels really good to be seen and validated and affirmed. This is what my clients must feel like when I say like good shit every once in a while. I think it was just a great moment. And then the fangirl out about us, Spence, was wild. They're like, this might be one of the greatest days of my life. And I'm like, why? Like, I literally get to talk about my favorite movie and my book on a podcast.
Yeah.
And I get to geek out about my special interest and also how she overcame her having horrific like grief and like intrusive thoughts around death in her family and this and that and all that hyperphantasia and feeling things. It was really good to see her healing journey through this movie. Very alternative, the pod. Normally, like, we already know a lot of stuff, me and Spence, and like we're pulling things out there we already know. This is one of the rare times where like I'm caught off guard and I'm kind of just blown away by the person I'm listening to. I love a good autistic fucking special interest rant. Love them. Love them to death. Because if I don't know about it, girl, go. I think that was the most like randomly insightful like pod I think we've done in a long time. And I'm not sure if that'll ever be replicated where like I'm caught off guard. And I think me and you were thoroughly surprised. Let's be real. We didn't know what we were expecting because a publisher, that's the only one we've talked to where a publisher hit us up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because otherwise me and Spencer like sus about it. Doesn't feel right. Mm-hmm. But I really enjoyed her children's book. I'm like, I'll promote the children's book. Plus they were already autistic as well. So there's a couple reasons why we liked it, but we didn't know if they could talk.
Yeah. And that's always a tough one, especially because like I said, like sometimes some guests, they aren't public speakers.
It's fine.
It's fine. And, but sometimes like we think that it might be tough for them to talk to two strangers about certain things because they might not trust the process of what we do at first. But yeah, it turned out to be a great conversation. And yeah, she was great.
Anyone that has issues with seeing things or being very vivid visuals or imagination when you're reading things and like you can feel it when you're reflecting on old memories, you can also re-experience that emotions, those trauma, maybe the happiness, maybe the joy. That's a really good pod to go back and reflect on. In our link tree, you're going to see the quizzes and assessments for like autism. So when you click on that, hyperphantasia is going to be one of them. Go ahead and click on that link and take that. See if you have aphantasia, where you see nothing. You hear the word apple, you see the word apple. Or is it that you see the apple? Or is that if it's even further like mine and hers? Not only do you see it, you can taste it, you can touch it, you can smell it, you can see it glistening and shit. You know, it's like... got all the sugars and the cream filling and the glitter. So go ahead and check that out if you want to get educated on that. And then also go check out her book. It's also in our Amazon shopping cart. You can go check it out from there.
Yes. It is called Eliza D's Universes. Fantastic book. Go check it out. And yeah, remember, and I don't know, is she even doing like social media stuff anymore?
She still has her Instagram. She doesn't promote a lot on it. She talks a lot on Facebook. So on her Facebook is actually quite active. And that's kind of like her vlog, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. She's more of a Facebook girly.
Yeah. All right. So remember, go check out Rebecca Bitzman for our best alternative.
Yeah.
Next is the award for best ADHD and autism pod. This award actually goes to somebody who Naz was messaging before and just asked him to come on the pod. This goes to ADHD Druids or ADHD Druids. Is it?
I think it's Druids.
Yeah, ADHD. Oh yeah, there we go.
He told us his name. He's like, no one calls me by my name. They call me by Druids. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it was Michael Ruffin.
Oh, that's right. Ruffin. I always thought of the chips. Ruffles.
Always goes back to chips. Anyways, for this podcast, we actually covered One Piece. And yeah, we were able to just really talk about just him being an ADHD coach, as well as just his own experiences through having autism and ADHD. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Would you like to talk about ADHD Druids?
So I will go and then I'll have you go. My favorite part with him is at first during that pod, if y'all pay attention, like I thought it was gonna be kind of dry. And then Homeboy just end up opening up and just like going on some crazy shit with us.
Oh yeah.
I was like, bro, I thought you'd be a cancel type of motherfucker, man. You one of them old sensitive ass motherfucker. You one of them woke ass motherfucker. And no, he was like cool as shit, had a blast.
Yeah.
Best part about him for me, I know he loves our people.
Yeah.
I know that his support groups and his nonprofit is for real. They know hustle. Shit isn't expensive. Homeboy is trying to help and be in the community. He's protective of his own people. People be coming in there trying to fuck up his space. He gonna come at you. And as he said, like, I don't care if you beat me up, but I'm not going to allow you to beat up anybody else. Very educated in what ADHD is, very educated in his own autism, very open to all different walks of what autism can represent as queer folks, trans folks. Like, I ain't gonna lie, that's my guy. And I know he's had some struggles in the past year, just mental health, finances. Like, you know, homeboy's doing it and still struggling himself. I know he's burned out with shit. But it looks like he also played Marvel Rivals, so I'm trying to get him to play some games with me on Marvel Rivals.
Nice.
But very educational pod on One Piece. And we've had a lot of pods about neurodivergence and autism. Obviously, that's the whole fucking show.
Mm-hmm.
But his wasn't attached to money. Some of the other people, like, that's their business. They got their own practices, right? I get that. But, like, he was just like, this is who I am. This is what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to just capitalize on this shit. I enjoyed him as a person. Also them as a person because they identify as he, they. So it's just good people, man. Sometimes you just meet good people. We met on Threads, like just randomly kicking it for a year before we even interviewed with him. Sometimes you just meet good people, Spence, and he's one of them. I highly recommend folks with ADHD or autism follow his content. He talks a lot on Threads. He also has some Discords and some things you can hop into for free that are support groups. If you're looking for some stuff, check him out for like support related stuff and coaching stuff. We've had a lot of coaches on. I recommend him 100%. Spence, what was your favorite part talking to him, man? Because I know you've seen a lot of One Piece shit, so I'm sure you were vibing with some of it.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, I'm not like I wasn't the biggest like One Piece fan and stuff like that, but just talk to him in general about just pop culture and all the different things, like nerdy wise.
Y'all were nerding out.
Yeah, that was great, and that's always fun to do too because we've had people on where they're like they like nerd out, but like they're like mean about nerding out. I don't know how to explain that, but like, you know, they're like, oh, you don't know about this? Like, no, like he has a very welcoming kind of like, oh yeah, I love that part too. And like, even if you might be wrong, he's kind of like, he vibes with it, right?
Even
and
if he didn't know, yeah, he would vibe with it, or he would like show you this other thing. Like when you start nerding out with people, it's like I'm watching. I ain't even got one. It's like when your son makes his first friend. I'm like, oh yes.
You're acting like I don't have friends.
No, I don't have any friends.
I know. I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on. We're going to talk about social lives here. Hold on a second.
You're just like very
I
vibrant.
go out of the house way more than
you have like a full life. Yeah. I had a friend ask me out to hang out the other day. I just ignored his message.
Oh my God.
Fuck him.
Well, people are diving into our lives now.
Yeah. I'm like, fuck this guy. I'm like, how dare you ask me to hang out, you bitch?
Fucking hey, man.
I know.
Oh,
I just love when you nerd out with people because I nerd out with a therapist all the time on shit. So it's nice when you get some people and like you're like just vibing and chilling. That's what I meant by that.
Yeah, no. And I totally agree with that. Cause sometimes it's like, you know, I see that y'all are like having fun, or not having fun, but just, you know, you're vibing with, you know, the therapist side of things because that's been your life. That's your life for a long time now. Right. And so it's like, and I don't really have that expertise at all because I'm not a practitioner.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. It is fun to have like nerdy people on or just people in general where I can vibe with like movies, shows and things like that because you know, get to just pick their brain on certain things. So
bro, we're gonna have to get some musicians on here, bro.
That'd be cool.
Because I know you love music, bro. We're gonna have to start trying to get into some music stuff. I've tried. It's hard to get them to respond.
I feel like I'm asked. I'll probably ask more people, but yeah, it's tough because you know it's musicians.
They're busy. I get it. You're busy. You show tunes and shit. Everyone's having sex with everyone. I get it.
Jealous much?
Very, very.
Please, I just want to be near it.
It's like, you whore.
Oh my God.
That goes for all genders.
Once again, don't want to have your children watch this show.
Yeah, I know.
Um, anyways, go check out ADH Druids
Rub 'em.
podcast or just channel in
Channel,
general.
yeah.
I don't know if he has a podcast or they have
Not a podcast. He has a Twitch and then just social media.
There you go.
Yep.
Check them out. Great stuff. Great stuff. All right. Let's move on to our next category for wish we could redo.
Bruh.
So
My
we
life.
have we have two different answers for this one. I'll give mine, then you could give
Go
yours.
ahead.
I personally wanted to redo Dr. Yeager's podcast. So Dr. Yeager was a therapist for the Detroit Pistons, as well as other sports franchises. And the audio on that one was just not good. I don't know what happened.
So
I don't know.
This is what happened. It was picking up the audio from my fucking microphone and my laptop microphone.
Oh.
So it was picking up audio from both. Somehow they were both active. I don't understand. And I didn't have my headset in. So it was getting the echo from the headset.
Jesus Christ.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I take the L. Every time we do a redo, it's usually because of me. So like, fuck my life. Excuse me while I go kill myself.
Because your example is actually the audio too.
Yeah,
so,
I know. It's always me. Anytime we fuck it up, it's me. I take full credibility. Yes.
Hey. I mean, that's the thing also, people. We're not perfect. This is our third year doing this. So, shit happens.
This is why we started having Spencer also record everything as a backup, just in case I fuck the audio. It's still good, like quality content.
Yeah. So, we've come a long way, and we're still learning. Both of us. We're still learning a lot. And so, it's one of those deals where, as time goes on, we're all kind of just making sure things are like we're trying to protect everything, really. So it's one of those deals. But yeah, I would definitely say Dr. Yeager, because not only was he fantastic as a guest talking about Godfather.
Oh, that's right.
It was, Godfather.
Dude.
But yeah, he's just an interesting dude too.
That podcast was awesome, man. And then when I heard the video and the audio was so messed up, like I literally like called you like crying. Like I literally texted you like, bro, I'm literally having a fucking panic attack. And you're like, what's wrong? I was like, the audio's fucked. I edited and Frankenstein that fucker for hours. Like literally it took me like weeks to edit that thing to get it even a resemblance of something that was listenable.
Right.
The fact that I even got it published is wild. 100% wish we could redo that.
Yeah.
Because homeboy was just dropping nuggets, and then it's like an older black dude. He got the little Michael Jordan earring going on and shit. Like, he got the swag,
He does.
Right. And it's like, Dr. Hall was awesome. Dr. Hall ain't got Dr. Yeager's swag. Dr. Yeager's swag was like I ain't gonna lie, he looked like he coming straight out the hood, dog. Like, he just happens to have a degree, motherfucker.
Yeah. Like, how the hell?
Yeah. Like, it's always different when you're talking to therapists that work with athletes. There's always a swag.
There is. And yeah, definitely for him. He's actually, I think he's here in Minnesota, actually.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. He did live in Minnesota. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe we'll see.
Well, maybe
that's one of those maybes. Maybe he'll be back. Probably not. But
probably not. Maybe. But hey, we could be like, we've gotten better. I've grown. Yeah. I'm a full boy now.
Growing boy.
I know. I'm like full Pinocchio now. Like, yeah.
I'm a real boy.
I'm a real boy. That's what I meant.
He didn't grow. He just became real. He was a puppet.
Bro, I finally watched Goosebumps. That shit was terrifying, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. I actually started watching that one Jurassic Park show.
Oh,
that cartoon one.
On Netflix?
Yeah.
Bro, I've been telling you to watch this shit for years.
Now you know how it feels. Bitch. Watch this motherfucker too. I'm like, watch this show. It's really good. He's like, I'll get to it.
It's like I just finally watched like Shawshank. You're like, finally.
Jesus. But yeah, I didn't know Ortega, that chick was in there.
Oh.
She's one of the voice actors.
Oh, okay.
Wednesday. Yeah, she's in there.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
And a
talking?
couple other actually big guests are in there too.
Yeah. I know they're actually pretty good. You talking about the
Jurassic Park, the cartoon.
Camp Cretaceous?
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
Bro, some of them episodes, you're gonna be fucking tweaking, bro. Like they will make you anxious.
I bet.
Like when them T-Rexes and shit murdering people and shit. So now there's a new show that's not camp. It's like the after when they get older. Yeah, it's been harder for me to get into that one. Because like they're off the island now. Like I'll get back into it.
Yeah. But yeah, I was like, and they're already like doing like people are like deceitful and shit in there. Like I haven't like gone like I'm like 5 episodes in. But
oh dude, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. It's good so far.
It's awesome. Been out for years now.
Yeah.
I think they came out during COVID.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Jenny Ortega.
Bruh. How the fuck did we pivot that hard?
I don't know. I just was like,
here's
good.
A show. Here's
I'm
a
watching,
show.
By
that
the
was
way.
a tism moment.
This is the podcast.
Girl, just
if you're not familiar with
it. Just pulled your show out on me. Put that thing away.
Oh, flop. Anyway,
put that thing.
You want to give your redo?
Yeah. So real quick, would love to have Dr. Yeager back on now that we're like real boys now. Don't tell him that. Since we're real boys now.
Comment on his profile.
Yes.
Real boys. Hashtag real boys.
Do you still like boys?
Oh God.
He'd be like block pervert. But he won't watch this, so it's fine. Mine. Oh, real quick. Another reason why I really hated that is because we finally get to talk to a black therapist, right? And then I fuck it up. So I feel like for the culture, for our people, black and brown folks, it's really hard to hear those voices. And then I finally get it, and then I fucked it up, and I'm like, the devil just don't want us to hear black and brown voices on the pod. So fast forward. Probably the funniest pod that we've done, which would have won the award but won't, is Dr. Mac.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome human, wild as shit, neurodivergent as a motherfucker, bro. They ain't no way they ain't autistic. I don't give a fuck what they say, motherfucker. But the pod was on Gen V, and we did it on eating disorders and also some trans related issues as well. And also some schizophrenic stuff too, of like puppets. And that fucking podcast, I didn't know if I was coming or going, bro. The shit that we were saying was so unfiltered, and her whole vibe, the Spider-Man neck tattoo, I was saying a bunch of pervy shit. Like, bro, I'm like, we had a fucking blast. That pod was probably like 4 hours long, just us talking shit.
Yeah.
And somehow my microphone wasn't on.
Yeah.
So we did the whole pod, and I had to edit it and Frankenstein the shit out of it just to get it to where Spencer and her were talking, and all you see is me like, bah, 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 bah.
On this side of the podcast.
Yeah.
Where I said, eat it up. What?
Yeah. So literally I had to insert myself and like re-record myself and be like, most likely I think this is what I said and why she had that reaction. Bruh. Did you ever see that pod, bro? That shit was wild.
I didn't want to. For me, I don't go back and watch the shows.
Neither do
just
I.
because I can't hear my own voice.
I can't.
I've gotten better, but I can't do that. Like I only watch it through like the clips I create.
Yeah, love the clips. That's enough.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what?
That's enough. Bruh, I had to go back and edit, reshoot and I waited months to do it because I was so fucking angry.
Yeah.
Finally did it, pumped it out, apologized to her like a million times. It is what it is. She still had her friend join us, so she doesn't hate us. So
No, and it's after having that conversation with her, it was like no wonder why they like are friends.
No wonder why those two are best friends. So we did the Psychopaths episode in 2025 with forgot her name. Lena Haji. And so Dr. Mac and them are like awesome friends that met each other. And friendships they can start anywhere, even cross country. So hopefully me and Spence can hang out with them in the summer when we do our next road trip. That's the plan.
Yeah. We'll see.
As long as they don't think we're perverts. Well, me.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Well, that's part of it. They might like that. Jesus. I kept trying to creep out Dr. Haji so bad. But like they're from the prison system, so they were just taking my shit in stride. They ain't seen some shit, bro. I'm just so enamored. Like we have so many awesome guests, it's wild.
I know.
Just
she's great.
Fangirling over everybody. So, Dr. Mac, I am so sorry. People need to hear your voice. Not only are you hilarious, you're super weird and quirky. People love it. You're real, authentic, kind of badass too.
I have to be if you got a throat tattoo of
Spider-Man. I know, Spider-Man. And also just the red hair is just intense. The fucking flame on hair is just nuts.
Johnny?
Fucking
Johnny.
Johnny?
Johnny Blaze.
Johnny Blaze. So, wish we could redo that one. I think this is the last award, right? We got the funniest person one? No? Oh, we got more awards. Let's keep it roll. Let's keep turning this tit.
Technically, we got 2 if we wanted to include the other one.
Okay.
But I don't know if we're including that one.
Go ahead.
But the next one, yeah, like you said, is actually funniest pod, right? Funniest. This person has actually been on the show. Has been on the show twice. She is not only a Black therapist, which you wouldn't know if she doesn't show her face, but she's hilarious and also quirky as hell. She did The Last Dragon, and also Blank Man. Great funny films. And so this award actually goes to Dr. Funnies. So not only is she winning the award with her name in it, but she was hilarious and still is hilarious. Every time we have her on, it's just a new funny experience. And she has just overall a great personality and, great therapist overall. So
are you ever surprised or shocked on like the shit I feel like YouTube vibes so fucking hard.
Yeah, because she's a nerd, and she just is like
it's like old school nerd
has, like,
too,
her
though.
Serious moments, but then she just rolls it into like some hilarious shit. So yeah,
and it's just
plus she's in a fucking closet sweating her ass off.
I know she's locked in the closet. She records from her closet.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't know that.
You wouldn't know that because you can't see her face, but she's literally just sitting there, just fucking slaving it up. Oh my god!
Why?
Oh my god! That's not what I meant to say.
God damn it! No.
What I meant to say. God. Sweating it up.
Just sweating. You don't have to.
It had nothing to do with the race. Nothing to do with the race.
Matter.
I'm not cutting that either.
She's a Black woman. You're like,
I'm not cutting it.
How can I get this?
I'm not leaving. It's like that.
How can I?
Wall Street. I'm not leaving.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, bro. She be in there pouring sweat, bro. I'm like, girl, chill. She's like, it's hot as hell in here. I'm like, you in a hot box.
Swear to God, you go into your slave voice. It's so hot in here. What the fuck, man?
Hey,
what the hell?
The fact she does that shit with us, so like she's one of the few people that'll actually give us the shit back.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
she'll go with it, man. She makes me uncomfortable sometimes. I'm like, damn, girl.
Yeah. Even in our like discussion of like Karate Kid, like she was defending fucking Johnny.
Oh, she will come at you. Love her.
Yeah, it was great. It was great to have that like kind of back and forth conversation too. We're not somebody who like always just wants to like agree / like, just not have like a confrontation. Like we want to have like good conversations, and sometimes you're gonna have different points.
Yep.
And so she had a different point about Johnny being a good kid who just had a bad
teacher.
Mentor.
Yeah,
teacher. And I disagreed. I thought he was a fucking psychopath. And then now you look back on the show of Cobra Kai, and
there you go.
John Kreese is a psychopath.
Yeah.
So there you go.
He
had the right.
She was right on it. She knew. That therapist in her knew. She knew that was one of the good white boys. That was one of the good ones. That was one of the good ones.
I think she had a crush. Johnny.
She might have did. She liked it. She was like, that's a good one, Johnny, right now.
I like how he sweeps the leg. Good.
Boy, you sweep my leg anytime, man.
Sweep me off my feet.
Sweep me right into
and
your
onto
bed.
the mat, son.
Oh, damn. Pow, pow, pow.
Oh, my.
I can't wait to tag her in this.
Oh, I can't wait either.
Oh, yeah. She's just going to love it. She wants us to do some pods. I'm like, girl, we just had you on. Chill.
I know.
Also, we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
Love her to death. She tags me in a bunch of stuff. She's magnificent. Please reach out to her. I've actually referred to her clients. I can't obviously identify who that is, but certain people that live where she lives, and I send them to her. Magnificent human. Just funny as shit. Vibes with us. We get along so good with black and brown folk. Is magnificent.
I know.
White folk, it's it hit or miss.
Yeah, it's either or.
We
usually are good with people who have had traumas in their life. That's fucked up, but it's so true. Like
you got a little twistedness in it. You want to die?
Dr. Lena Haji, she's fucking. Not only she's a great therapist and like great, she is so into dark shit.
So dark,
so fucking. And we had such a long conversation.
5 hours.
Split it up into 2 pods.
5 hours.
But like, she's such a dark fucking mind. It's hilarious.
100%. They're gonna win. We're cat out of the bag. 2025 best podcast, favorite guest, Dr. Lena Haji. Facts. No one's gonna top that. I don't give a shit if we get all these pros and all that other stuff in. There's no way they're gonna top her. There's no way.
Right.
You don't talk to us for 5 hours and keep going when you got court in the morning. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But Dr. Funnies, magnificent. Please go follow them. Mental Health Funnies. Also, you can Google Dr. Funnies. Fantastic page. All memes and content related right now. A lot of therapy stuff in there. And just a great person. Great black woman to like follow. So go give them a shout out.
Yeah. Shout out.
We got any more or no? We're going to open it up to like a couple questions.
I think that's all we have. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Spence, before we close, let us know what your favorite pod is. Yes. What was your favorite pod? And tell us why. If you could, please comment on Apple or Spotify. That way it helps us get some promotion there. Or when this drops on YouTube, mosey on over to YouTube and just put that thing in there.
Down below. Put the comment down below.
Put that
for God's sake.
Put that thing in there down below.
God damn.
Please go ahead and please. So because we need to know is it the guest? Is it the content? Is it the topic? Like we would love to know, like, who do you really, really enjoy that comes to us? And there's a ton of you that listen to us daily. So like, let us know. That way we can perfect our craft because we're trying to get better every year. Yeah. Spence, any questions for the fans that listen to us, right? Because there's going to be a couple hundred folks that listen to this.
No.
All right.
We're good.
All right.
We've asked all we can ask and have said all we can say.
There we do it. We put that thing out there. Now we got to, take it back.
Yep. We've talked about a lot of great things today.
A lot.
Talked about the Civil War. Talked about
Civil War.
You know what? You know what?
Keep it going.
You know what? Don't act like you don't know. He's like, I don't know. And we had a lot of great guests.
Yes.
Things like that. So go check out all the great pods. Keep on watching and look out for more because we got some exciting things coming up for the year.
Yep.
So go check it out.
Check it out.
Tell your friends. Tell them.
Tell your friends. Tell your kids. But remember, we explicit. Yeah. Tell your kids.
Yeah. Explicit. Yeah. We have a warning label in the front of this video as well as our other ones. So no.
We got a warning label on the front and the back.
I'm Spencer. That's Nas, Different Special Podcast.
All right, everyone. Much love. And remember, take care of yourselves.
Or don't.
Completely up to you, homie. Peace.